Osana. Kale twa ukwa ukula shikwa pepone pone. Kabili ya na chechi ego tabeba mwana. Kale twa ukwa ukula shikwa pepone pone. Kabili ya na chechi ego tabeba.
So today, video call. House facts.
Hello.
Good evening, Zambia. Good evening, our guests from around the world. Welcoming you to TVBAKWETU TV, and this is Mwelwa. And this evening we have Mr. Christopher Katongo. And Mr. Christopher Katongo, welcome to our show this evening.
Thank you very much, madam.
A little bit about yourself. I think a lot of us will talk about how we have probably related you to not even your entire football career, but to the last AFCON win that you had. And I think a little bit about yourself. I know you're from Mufulira, and I always say at we're very good, us who come from Afghan. So a little bit about yourself, sir. Where are you coming from? What is your background like?
All right. My full names are Christopher Katongo. I was born in Tondo Township in Florida. I was born in a family of 13. I was the 7th born. I did my primary school at Tondo Primary School and my secondary school at Chankwa Secondary School. My grade 10 to finish my grade 12, it is more of complicated. I went to Kantash Secondary School, term 1, term 2. Then I came back in Utondo Secondary School, term 3, and then term 1, which is grade 11, I went to Kalbushi Secondary School, where I finished my grade 12. That time I was playing at Kalbushi Modern Stars. I'm a married person with 4 kids, 1 girl, 3 boys. Yes, I am a footballer. For those who doesn't know me, I'm a footballer. Also, I am a soldier. Now I'm a well-retired soldier, warrant officer class 1. I'm also having a CAFC license, which is I'm a coach.
Okay.
I think that's more about me. Unless maybe could have a question but this is who am I?
Okay. And what attracted you to football? What was it that drove you to say, okay, this is what I want to do in my life, therefore a baller?
I was inspired by the people who are, coming to the national team to play. When you have come a newspaper, you inspired with those people who are coming to represent the country. And I wanted to become a footballer. And I became a footballer, which is my dream come true. And I love it the way it is. That's what it makes me to be also who I am. Everybody wanted to have a good education, but it's not everybody who can build a house. It's not everybody who can move around. Even if you are a lawyer, but he's a very educated. So this is what I wanted to be. That's why I am who I am. So I love the sport. That's a fact.
All right. Were your family supportive? Maybe I would say, was your father supportive of your football career as you started out?
No. My dad didn't want me to play football. My dad wanted to make sure that I can have a good education. So we were differing in one over another. That's why now today we are friends with my dad. So for that thing, because I proved my parents wrong.
Yeah. Would you say it's an easy career to get into?
Come again?
Football, especially for the young men.
It's not an easy. Not only the football is not an easy career. Ichintu chonse cholefu kuchitapa chalo takwavapo echangu kati china changu kapo pantunangu kusambirira olefu kubafe lawyer ufuire waba dedicated, you put everything in place. It's not easy. This is what I just know the life takwavapo echangu. So like football, you need to love it, dedicate yourself to it, have passion in it. It's like you want it to become part of you. That's how it is. But if it's not part of you, you fail to go further. Even if in Angulefo kuba doctor, doctor maybe katika ni 5 years and 7 years, I don't know. I've never been to university. That's a fact, which is true. But it's not an easy career to be the doctor. They go through a lot of things. It's the same thing. Like I said, it's not an easy thing to become somebody whom you want to be, but especially something that expose things to the people, because football you play in the ground where everybody sees you, and whatever you do outside the world is gonna matter most to you inside the pitch. That's the most difficult thing that I can say.
All right. Okay. So out of some interest, what are some of the countries you have played in?
My sister. Okay, for the sake of for our kids, you know, who have just grown up and just find our names, like, okay, there is this Katongo, okay, this captain to lift Africa Cup. Yeah, it's a good information to give those our kids. You know, I played in South Africa, Jomo Cosmos. I stayed there 2-3 years. I signed my contract 4 years. I went to Denmark. I stayed 2.5 years. I went to Germany. I stayed 2.5 years. I went to Greece. I signed 3 years. I stayed 1.5 years. Then I went to China 3 years. I stayed close to 3 years. I came to South Africa again, Golden Arrows. I stayed maybe 6 months. Then again, I signed to Wits University for 1 year. And then I can see myself, I need to retire. So I came back to Green Buffaloes, which is because I'm a soldier, as I said. I'm a former soldier, yes. At that time, I was a soldier. I'm a 1 and 2 officer class 1. So I came back in 2016. I played about 9 to 12 games. And then in that year, same year, I retired. I became a coach. So I did my D license. I did my D license. Then I did my C license, CAF C license, which I have currently now. So I'm a retired soldier now. I'm just waiting for my package.
Ireisa.
Mukatsanga. No, you find us. No.
So what I would want to find out, are you open to your children going through a career as yours?
Yes, for sure. I don't tell them what they want to become. They always play football. They always play football even to my yard. They come with their friends. They are playing football there. They go always to play with other people in the other premises to play football. So I don't discourage them and I don't encourage them. Whatever somebody wants to become, he can just choose whatever he wants to become. So I just learned from my father, where he was like, don't do this. This is this. I don't do this. No, but for my kids, I don't tell them this is what I want you to be, or I force them. No, you have to become a footballer. I mean, no, I don't do them. I don't do that to them, but they love football. Everybody wants to play football. Even in Ghana, the only daughter I have, she wants also to play football. So I'm in trouble, but I just leave it. Whatever they want to do, let them do. It's fine, no problem.
So what are your thoughts about the current situation of our football in Zambia?
Come again?
Looking at the way,
come again?
At how, what do you think of the situation of our Zambian football?
The situation, I don't want even to talk about too much. We have been singing the songs here and there every time. I think I've run out of what to say, because I think Zambians has to learn from the past. That's the only thing that I can, that's the only thing that I can just aid Zambians, you know. You can't go to the village, you don't find the village head man. You can't be the president when there was no president at the first place. There was somebody who started those things. What are the good things that he did and what are the wrong things that he did? That's how life has to go. You know, even my parents, when they were getting married, they went to the oldest people to consult. You know, even me, when I wanted to get married, I didn't go to consult to my fellow guy who's not yet in the marriage. So in Zambia's situation, I don't know even what I want to say, because I've said everything that I wanted to say. I've told them, I've said it and I repeat it again and again. there's no one who's gonna listen. You know, Zambians are Zambians. This is what I can just say, because we will never change who we are. If we can forget the national team who perished on 1993, you forget their death day of celebration for them. You just doing just small things. It doesn't make any sense for me. If somebody forget our anniversary where we win 2012 Africa Cup, which is coming in the next month, and then no one wants to honor us of what we have done for this country, then why you want me to talk about what is going on on the Zambian football? For the first time, tapali ulelanda what there will be a celebration, tapali ulelanda what there will be what. So for me now, it's now not making sense to start talking about which way forward Zambia has to go. It's painful. I can't even start talking about it where Zambians are gonna go, because from the first whistle they destroyed everything that's supposed to be done. And I've been speaking long time ago. There was no transition in everything that we are doing. All the coaches that they were being assigned to take Zambians, they were doing their own things. Everybody, they didn't want to consult. They didn't to, you know, I don't know even what to say. You know, these things in Zambia, I don't know. But we are at zero. There's nothing we can even hide about amongst ourselves. I think we are at zero. If you can't honor 1993 people, they honor them, yes, but they have got the date that you need, you know, to look up to. But it's not happening. What of the Africa Cup of Nations? Come to the, I can tell you about Mwelwa. Waisapu Airport, there is no history about football. Yes, there is a history of our first president. You know what? He's the first president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. Yes, our history, you can see our history when it comes to the politics. You know, you go even where they started together, you know, making sure that we have the peace that we have. There is a history where our president actually, you know, went there, you know, to you know what was happening. I don't want to go into details because I want to speak about only football, but I want just to speak about the history, how you cherish history. Yes. But look on the football perspective. Come to the airport, you never find the history. There should be somewhere where there is a history. As a Zambian, as Zambians who was footballing nation, who has a better talent, look in the town, in a town center. There is no picture which is telling you about the football. Yes. Look, whatever towns that you want to mention. So you what are the things that is telling you? What are the things that is implying you? Whereby a foreigner comes, he doesn't see the history that this country there is agriculture. This country there's arts. This country there's a musician. There should be that image of showing that one, but we don't have. So why are we going down? It's the same. We don't have. That's why even yes. So those are the things that is going on in my mind, but it's not my time to change the Zambians or to change people, but this is what it is, and I'm complying with what it is, and we just move on.
All right. No, thank you so much for that candid explanation. So you have written a book.
Yes.
And it's about the AFCON. And why did you write a book?
I think first of all, Mwelwa, a book it's your own story. You want to tell the own story. I'm not talking about our Zambian story. This is my own story when I was a captain. So I decided to write a book to inspire people that no matter the difficult that maybe you are going through, no matter in your family they are saying, iwe niwe chipuba chabe siungaende huku siungachite chani, but focus on your dream. Just focus on where you want to reach. That's why I decided to write this book, because this book is just talking about the things that Zambians, they didn't know what was happening when I was in Gabon, Kotologi. So it's behind the story which was happening, which Zambian people, they didn't know, but they just came and celebrated the trophy. But there was some things which was happening, especially on the personal, especially with my players and my personal thing, which was happening. And that's why I decided to write this book, to inspire the people, to inspire not only in football, but to inspire people that no matter how somebody is telling you something, what, focus on your dream, and then you achieve. That's why I write this book. That's my main intent. It's just to tell the young guys or whatever, to inspire somebody to listen. People will say whatever they want to say. Like, for example, my sister, me, they were saying, Katongo, Nishimulela and Dai. Mwelwa win Africa Cup. Me, I was saying, we are winning the Africa Cup, but no, Katongo, Nishimulela. They underrated too much. And people, they don't remember the Zambians where they were underrating me on those days, even before the tournament started. So those are the things that is in my book. Ukubebukisha kupati mwale tuwe bati na muntu sula. So na kumchule bati nini? Nomba taturefo kubila okay na muntu sula. So nishi tuidide kwa Africa Cup mana muntu sula. Oh wale tiana Senegal. Oh takurefe bengachita. Then when we beat Senegal, people started realizing. I can go even in details, my sister. Even when this is what is in my book. Even when I go to the media for the interview, some of the reporters will ask me, "Who is this guy? Tell us. How do you feel? You are the captain. You go and represent your fellow players." And somebody asked me, "You need the introduction. Who are you?" So those are the things that which is in the book, just to tell you a little bit. So which is in the book, so that people can know that I went thick and thorns, to just lift the African Cup of Nations.
All right. I think one thing that is very interesting for me, I found about your book is, especially us in Zambia, I think just tell us a bit of a joke. And winning for us.
Now,
Which one? What were your logic?
Have you already read my book or what? What's your problem? Mwelwa nishim.
Mwelwa, I said I was your editor.
No, it's okay. I will tell you. I think when they tell us in the group that we were supposed to share the hotel with the two teams, which I don't need to mention. And they booked all the hotel. They wanted to stay alone. And we didn't know where we're going to book ourselves to accommodate ourselves to play the first two games. When we are 4 in the group, first 2 games we play, and the third one we need to play at the same time. So we find that, on the business perspective, so you get the point?
Yes.
Yes, but nobody complained. I think we went whereby, when there is some construction company where they make to my bankers what with to my TV or the TV. You are in the same
regulated containers.
Containers, yes. Not even not my container. We were in the containers. That's where we spend our 2 first games to play before we went to play Kotolo Guinea to go and spend a good night at a hotel, but just a good hotel. Those are the things that which is in the book, and maybe people they didn't know what we were going through. So that's why I said it's a story behind the 2012. What makes up maybe to be successful? There was a story behind this still.
Quite. All right. So when do you launch your book? I know your book is not yet launched, but when is the launch? Or do you have any concrete date yet?
No, the launch is on 4th March.
Quite.
We're launching the book. Yes. We are even trying to maybe to bring my fellow players that I played in the 2012, depending with my sponsors, maybe for the flights and whatever competition. But the stadium is Woodland Stadium, which is already been accepted and will be catered with whatever it's required with my book. And I've got some invitation here and there for some if they want to come, they don't want to come. If they will come, it's okay. It's not about making money. It's not about making money, but yes, everybody wants the money. But it's just the message to send to the people, just people to know what I've gone through and learn maybe from me, learn from 2012, learn from other players what we went through, and maybe they can have learn something and move forward. So my goal is just to send the message. Even if the people come, 2 or 3 people come to the stadium, it's not a problem. But one day or another, somebody will get the message that that I can give to the Zambians, so that people can learn. Yes.
Okay. So what would be your advice to a young man today who wants to get into football, especially international type of football? I know we have a few already, some of the guys that are already playing internationally, and they're doing very, very well. I think I would be recommending you and saying, I think you were a good example. And you laid a foundation, you guys, that today we have these players who are doing very, very well. But there are still a lot here in Zambia who are fighting. We are not yet on the map, like who would say maybe Ghana or the Nigerians who are in a lot of the international teams around the world. So what would your encouragement be to our Zambian young men and women who are looking into getting into international football?
I will tell them maybe 3 or 4 things. First of all, you need to love it. Love the things that you want to do. That's the first thing. Second thing, you sacrifice. Sacrifice yourself with the things that you want to do. If you want me to ukuchukusha sacrifice, you let me know, my sister. I can expand it. Thirdly, thirdly is discipline. Thirdly is discipline. Love it, sacrifice, discipline, and determination. You know, people who never born with determination, but you can empower somebody to have that determined, that heart, that wanting.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to sacrifice, what I mean by sacrifice for those young ones, I know but when you sacrifice, if you are a footballer, you sacrifice from the things which is outside the world. Leave it, you will find it later. For example, in the especially Tubualwa, Tusuma sana Tubualwa ka? Tusuma. Busuma Walwa. So coach sacrifice because Ubwalwa will start drain sana energy in our system. So you sacrifice to require Philipia Ubwalwa. if you're destructive to your dreams, you sacrifice what for now. You will find it later. That's what I mean by sacrifice. So sacrifice yourself, training, home, extras, training, home, extras, training, home. This is what I mean by sacrifice. Don't indulge yourself in some certain things that you want to do. So you sacrifice. After you finish your career, go and have even your whatever. Who's gonna talk about you now? But in before bola it's gonna trigger your mind, which means you won't concentrate much. That's why I said you love. When it comes to love, everybody knows. When you love somebody, no one is gonna just, hey, this is my thing. Then the discipline, sacrifice. You discipline yourself. It's what are the things that are required from the training? What are the things that I need to do? Oh, they say 2 o'clock, you come 1:50, 1:30, 1:35 before 2 o'clock. You know, that's been discipline. Okay, you are not taking out your name of the club down. You are disciplined in every aspect. You know, sometimes people will just say, discipline, this me, I'm disciplined. But when it comes to the things that you want to have, it's discipline, which is even more than, I know our mother and father is, you know, we have to, you know, to upapelo mchinshi. But discipline, it has to be more than, because you have the future. They bring you to the world to have the future. It's not their future. It's your future. They'll be living, you stay with your future. So have a dream, have a discipline for tomorrow. That's what I mean.
Okay. And I think on top of that, I would equally want to ask you, I think for you, one of the things that I really admired about your career is that which is very common in footballers. I don't know why. You know, it's a very common thing. When you hear all these stories, even some of our footballers who are already in international teams, the women I talk to here and there. So what did you do different? Because we don't hear any rumors. You know, you were very straight up, I think. Or that's the sacrifice you talked about.
You sacrifice. That's what I said. I sacrifice. You know, I went to Jomo Cosmos, as I said, Mwachinji Pushapa Fest, na ile ku South Africa, shaide po night club, for example, shaide kwete po fyagobana abantu bambi. No, I was only training myself 3 times a day, but it was a training for once a day. So I sacrifice. I went to Denmark, the same. You train once a day, so you sacrifice yourself. Once a day, I train twice a day. I went to Germany, it's the same. You sacrifice, not going to what yes. And I think when you go to the other side, yes, the level can change because you have already achieved something, but you must not do too much of the things that you want to do, which is normal. It's normal. You know, when a player can say, okay, it's like you can drink, but on a moderate. But when you are on the top level, not you just starting academy, even you don't even play under 17. Now we have to jiri. Now we have to shake. That's the thing that we are saying. No, leave those things. You find it when you enter into a professional level. So I sacrifice myself. That's why I stay long outside the country. I think I stay 15 years outside Zambia, which is more discipline of somebody to stay outside Zambia 15 years. And then you see the people who are today. Unfortunately,
yes.
Hey, I have a Tanzania, papita ko vyama days and nawela. Wow. It shouldn't be like that.
So
but yeah.
I'm going to invite Wiseman, who is our other guest at the moment. Mr. Wiseman, do you have any contribution or a question as we come towards the end of our program?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mwelwa. Good evening, Mr. Chris. How are you?
Fine. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. I think I'm humbled to have this direct conversation with you. I'm inspired by your book, first of all, to start with. Although I haven't yet have a copy of your book, don't know where you are selling them. If you can tell our viewers where they can find your book, it will be very inspiring. Secondly, you mentioned about being neglected. The recognition of our first team, which perished in Gabon, and you, the champions, who brought us the cup. Outside that, you on your personal capacity, what do you think about our national team? Even if they have neglected you, but again, I don't think so. It will be comfortable to see where our team is going. I was watching Samoa Gyan last night when Ghana were put it out. The way he cried live on TV, it shows passion. And every time when I see such kind of players, what comes in my mind is you people, more especially you, Chris Katongo. Because by now, I could have been saying, let Chris be our next coach. But you are nowhere to be seen. What drives you back not to involve yourself in our national team? Thank you.
I want the first question, sorry. The second one, I get it. But what was the first question, sorry?
First question, Katongo, was
first question ni minamu. First question ni minamu kwa tawa Mwelwa. Are
you selling your books yet?
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you very much. I think I'm starting selling on the 4th of February at Woodland Stadium as March, not quite a match, Yama Dallas, but like I said on the first, maybe I'll try to call some other players that we played together in the 2012, victory for 2012. I will call maybe 1 or 2 players to come in, depending with my sponsors' capability. Okay. But definitely, Kalu is gonna come. Kalu is assuring me that is coming. Evelena also is assuring me of coming. Those things is not a problem, but it's just to make sure that my other players maybe can come just to have the game because of my book, just to support me because of the book.
Yes.
So we are starting selling fourth match. We are starting selling the book going forward. No problem.
Right. Okay.
Yes. And then the second question is I talk about who we are as Zambians, especially when I was explaining to Mwelwa how things is being done. You remember Mwelwa was saying how things is being done, and I can even tell you now, banquet to the Kenyebe, I can even tell you now that there will be no anniversary for 10th year after we win the 2012. I can just tell you now. So if I can tell you like this, so where are we going? Can they allow Chris to come on the bench, or can they allow Chris to contribute in some certain ways where football is concerned? Can they allow even the 2012 people who have been already there to be part of whatever part can be? For example, it can be, yes, it can be in football. It can be as a player, because I've left some of them, they are still playing. It can be even on the bench. Yes, it can be even on the bench, maybe 4th assistant, whatever, just to make sure that the players are being handled in a good way. I don't know. Now you ask me today for that question, and we are 3 times not going for the Africa Cup of Nations, and no one has realized on these things. And if you look at the time that I was moved out from the national team, nobody makes sure that I can play the last game to celebrate what I've done for the country. So those are the questions that also you have to ask yourself. Then you see, where are we going? Can they just call me suddenly? When I was retired, they don't ask me. They just drop me, go home. You get the point about Bakwetu. So there is a lot of questions how I stopped football and why maybe I'm not involved in football too much, and why people are not listening to my experience. It's a lot of things. So that's why I said we are Zambians. We are Zambians. If we can change ourselves as Zambians in terms of the things which is happening, then we'll be moving forward. You know, if for example today, Bakwetu Namyeba, if I go to West Africa, I'm the king. If I go to South Africa, I'm the king. But if I come here in Zambia, Africa kape, bali wina, Katongo. Mwali bombele chalo, te akakaswako. And then what? So being on what Bakwetu appreciate to be on the bench or to do what, it's not my decision to say that put me here so that I'll work. No. It's not my decision. But people has to learn from the past. That's why Twitter, as I said, we call abachikulire ku chupo tuyakuba upapoko tutwala ati bantwalire kwensalamu. I don't think tulaya kuli nkungulume munanja ati ntwalira kwensalamu. So we have lost tradition and we are at zero, and hopefully maybe we can qualify to the Africa Cup 2017. By the way, they have already appointed our new coach Josa. We just need to support him. There's nothing we can do.
Okay, I'll equally ask Mkeleba, who has just joined us. Mkeleba, do you have any comment or question? I'll give you a few seconds so that we're edging towards the end of our program.
Okay, thank you so much. Chris Katongo Mulishani, our hero. It is a privilege to talk to you and to have you. Mwisakamana Mkwai, because if we're Zambian, we love people when they are doing something good to us, and then when we no longer receive some kind of things that they were doing, we tend to forget. You know, it is, the list just goes on. Chris Katongo, you are one of the most talented footballer that we have ever seen. Like you have said it, everywhere you go, people abroad, they appreciate your talent. No mbafi kumweso ku Zambia twalikwata problem. One, twalikwata sana jealous. We always, instead of supporting our brothers, instead of giving our brothers support, we intend to bring them down. Even when tatwa kwatana talent. That's why mule mona abantu balerwilo to full kuba atibarefu recognition. Mino taba kwatana talent, but look at you people with talent. Mune noko wale mi poster. I really hear you. Nimyumfwa, and I just hope that whoever is there is able to listen to what you are saying, because these are the chaps who are trying to bring politics in football. Politics, talent ifuma kuli lesa. So these people are supposed to recognize you, and I'm so glad that you came out and you said what you said. Just remember that you are not alone. We love you. We appreciate what you did for Mother Zambia. You are the first that has ever lifted the cup as a captain of the ship delivered a Africa Cup of Nations that came to Zambia. So we really appreciate. So Zambians, please let us learn to appreciate the talent and support people like Christopher Katongo and the entire group. Otherwise, we love you, my brother. We will never forget what you have done. We shall speak forever about you. And I just hope that the government will recognize you. Your package pembera for retirement. I would love that the government top up more so that at least you are able to have you can also run your own team at one time, support. Otherwise, we know kale valika and lesa mipale and transfer your talent. Mwikafwana talent yenu. Transfer that talent to the young ones so that they can give them that talent, advise them so that we can see sakala, nani, you know, that is inspired from you.
Natutela sana I appreciate those words. I think if we can speak one voice, there is all Zambians of football, they are Mukelabai. It's much better to understand one language. You know, sometimes even a mechanica aisa mkukwe vefia football. Mechanica aisa mkulanda vefia football. You know, this is where we are this is where we are a little bit wrong with some things that we do. Mama na ine isha ya kuskuru. I didn't go my degree in Shakwata, but my PhD in football because I've played football and on all conditions that somebody can talk about. And then mechanica, he comes to fix my car, and then I tell him, I think in a speedometer, you know, this is how we are. So you just spoke. You just spoke nicely, I like the way we speak. But if everybody can appreciate somebody's individual in the things that we are having in a PhD and everything that we have achieved in some certain things, then we are going forward. That's the only issue that we have. That's why they put Eto there. They know that he has played football. Come and sit here. So they want to speak one language. It's not about anybody can fail to do it. They can do it. But to speak one language, it's better you invite in your house when you have kwalo namba kashibobe wala itaba opwapo kali aba kweta amayeza ya kulu muchupo okuchira iwe ebo tuitaba isa tuikalika pansha tifite bachite fibane nifi techinji to yes techinji te ineninji kana muchupo 5 years na ya itaba le upwa fele wedding after the 6 months come and resolve my issues. So those are the things that will actually realize that Zambians say each things which happens kwali bana abakale kwali bapo abafichita pwefi inena ngulelo na upwa mukira bayina na upa kwali bapo na ba opirwe po before. So mfuna it's a consult mfuna it's a consult still then they upa vest you more kali muchupo mwa afye kufyala abana na shanisha nde upa. But why do we go to the ancestors and make sure that they take in salamu, they do this, they tell us everything which is in the marriage? Why? That's why the West Africans, they are dominating. They are not forgetting where they come from. If you see Algeria, there was 10 players there who win Africa Cup of Nations in 1917. Look at Ghana. They are all these people. I left them. They were younger than me, but I left them. They are still playing. As if I tell you who is the last playing for our national team 6 years ago or 10 years ago from now. Who? You find all new faces. If I'm Keleba Imiebe at Landeni lineup, Yale, Mwalalumbula Mofe Batatu. You just say Mwepu, Fashoni, Daka. If I ask you who is the goalkeeper? Who is the goalkeeper of Mkeleba? You never know. So those are the things that we are lacking, especially to go and consult the people that have been there already. Just go and consult. If our former president, by Edgar, they went to Rupia Band, they consulted, even our Excellency HH is going to Rupia Band. Why they are having that kama website of ka webcam of bale umfwana babatatu? They know. But I need to consult. You just need to consult. Those are the things that Zambians we are lacking. We don't need to consult. I just need Christopher Katongo. Fyandi fieka. Fyandi takuli na umbi. Ngaiwe fyandi. O ninevo limbinani uko. Fyandi. O ninevo mayuka. Nene fyandi. O ninevo Felix Katongo. Fyandi. But we don't do fyandi. We worked for the country. We're supposed to present the country, not to present anybody else. When you put on the flag, you are presenting your country. And those are the things that they need to know. If you are on top, you are presenting all the Zambians, which is 16,000, whatever thousand people that we have in the country. Whatever study presentable. If we look at Chapwa, Mwelwa. Mafunzo.
Thank you so much. Nalani Pshako, last question is, what did you think about our referee and how he performed in the last game he was in, AFCON currently?
I think our referee is our international referee. He has already graduated, Vaskazwe. To go to officiate the Africa Cup of Nations is already on the international level. That's why they appointed him. Whatever things that they think, okay, did what, no, we don't have. I don't have proof of the things. Maybe make a mistake, whatever he did. So I was not there, but he's still our referee. He represented us, and he still continue maybe representing us. Hopefully, if he was sick, hopefully get well and continue with his duty, because that is his passion. And on the referee perspective, changing it musana because it's a referee, but referee and football is the same. But in it, imbalance what yo nabarufyanya yo bari bwino awe teine referee. So but referee best bari fyo bwino bari present very well. Abe ne balaikala what went wrong, which is bad. Hopefully he can go back to his work. But if you ask me about football background, because like I said, don't enter into somebody's thing where you don't know too much. Because they told me
So Atasha Sana, thank you so much for humoring us and coming onto the show. Thank you very much for equally being candid. I know a lot of the times you're not very confident in your English, but please don't mind. Chikruna mulanda if you watch fire okulanda na tufyum for so to Atasha Sana.
Na totera sana teine shaba graduate shaya ko ku university. I'm just a grade 12 failure. Nangura rande chisungu ichibi. It's not my problem, but nalitere bole isuma bonse batasha.
Indeed,
that's all.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
Katongo, you are not a failure. Just to correct you. You are not a failure, and you will never be a failure, my brother.
Amen.
You've done a lot.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
And you are not an Englishman. You are Zambian.
Definitely, yes.
And I like and I'm happy you remind me of God only appoints one person. God doesn't appoint two people.
Absolutely.
Even in the man of the match, they don't appoint everybody, but the team was win. There is only one person they appoint, man of the match. Or top scorer or what, but you work as a team, but only one. Absolutely. So God only appoints one person to make sure that the others can have a green pasture.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Dear viewers, as we wind down, thank you so much for listening in, for sharing and for commenting. And as we come to the end of our program, I want to just thank you for the stars. I've seen a couple of people have sent in some stars, and those who are yet to send in the stars, thank you very much. This has been a special edition by Bakwetu TV. We were hosting Mr. Christopher Katongo, and I hope we have picked a couple of things and that we'll support him as we head towards his launch of his book, coming on the 4th of March. So thank you so much and good night.